That says it all. Now you tell me that didn't clear the mud.
Well, I'm pleased to be here at the Davanti European Development Center in IDIADA, Spain. Next to me is my good friend, Collier, and he's gonna tell us a little bit more about our Terratoura all-terrain tire.
Hello Amilcar, welcome back to my office.
Thank you.
This is Davanti's Terratoura A tyre. It's been in the market now for a little while, but I'd like to remind everybody some of the key features that make this tyre actually outstanding. So not only is it Three-Peak Mountain Snowflake accredited, so you can use it as a winter tyre, we put really a lot of effort into the tread design and development when we were testing it. Here, for example, we have this central rib. So when you're driving this tyre on asphalt, maybe you're towing a trailer. When you steer, the tyre's response is very lean. It feels like a normal highway tyre, for example. That's really important if you have a heavy load. You don't want the car to begin to snake because the driver's making constant corrections. Another thing that we did is we added these ribs on the side here. The tyre still has a large amount of mechanical edge engagement. We've got these cutaways here. So when it's in deep mud, it works very well. But this rib, what this does, it stops the noise transfer. So even though it's an AT tyre, it doesn't sound like an AT tyre. You don't have that characteristic woo-woo noise, which gets very irritating very quickly to every customer. So I think the only things left to do now is we go to the test track, we drive in some mud, some rock, some sand, and we show everyone what makes this tyre a true AT tyre.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Amilcar, welcome to the technical forest section in IDIADA's proving ground.
Thank you.
So this is where Davanti test all of their off-highway tyres, so MT, AT. What we're going to do now, we're going to drive this vehicle. So we have a four-wheel drive vehicle, and we're going to drive on a number of different surfaces, and I'm going to show you and explain how the Terratoura A that this vehicle is fitted with, how all the different elements inside the tyre work in different areas, because obviously we have the tread design, the tread compound, and also the structure. Okay. So these three parts do different things on different surfaces, and here we have a number of different surfaces. So I will head down here and explain what's going on.
Okay.
This is a very technical track. There's a number of different approaches and departures on different surfaces. And it's really important that the tyre always works on a number of different materials. When you're using an all-terrain tyre, it needs to be able to work on all terrains.
Okay.
So the surface can either be solid, it can be rock, for example, at which point the tread design doesn't actually do very much because it's not able to mechanically adhere to the surface. There's no traction, it can't actually bite into the surface. So the first obstacle that we're going to come to, we have really nice deep sand. If you're a customer and you're driving to the beach, for example, people always worry about sand because it's so easy to get stuck.
Yeah.
Now, the tread compounding can't do anything here because there's nothing for the compound to work on. As you can see, we're going really nice and slow, which is what everyone thinks is the worst thing that you can do in sand. But the Terratoura AT, the way that the footprint is formed, so because the way the carcass is designed, we're spreading the load nicely. And also, with the way that the tread blocks have a number of areas where they can engage into the surface, they can mechanically claw and dig. You can see how we just managed to drive straight through there, no problem. So sand, that's all about the footprint. So this is the design of the structure, the carcass of the tyre, and also the tread design. Now we're going to come to another obstacle. Ideally what we would do, if we were off-roading and we were picking a line, we'd go down this straight, but we're going to deliberately cross-axle the car and we're going to go slow. Now did you feel there as the surface began to break away, the tyre, all the areas there worked in unison. So again we have our footprint, so the tyre has conformed to the surface, and the tread engaged, so we felt it, it bit in. Did you feel it slide and bite? Now we've got 16 degrees of steer angle, but we still have control. Yeah. So I can gently go down this decline and control the vehicle. It's really important that we control the vehicle. We don't want to go flying down here because we could damage the car or we could have an accident. Again here, we're going to make it difficult for the car. We're going to go slow. This is a steep incline, huh? So all the time, the load is moving, it's going from the back to the front. So you haven't got the benefit of 4 tyres on the surface all at once. Now, again, if we go here, we can stop the car. So if we stop the car on this incline, doesn't matter how good the brakes aren't really doing anything at this point. This is all down to the tyre.
Yes.
So again, the way that the footprint is formed, all the load transfer, a little bit compounding on here, there's some rock and some sand, but again, the tread pattern. But this is the important point. It doesn't matter how good any other part of the car is, there's only one piece that touches the ground.
Exactly.
That's the tyre.
Tyre.
And even here, if I let the hill descent, look how controlled and easy this is. So we'll make it difficult for the tyre. If we went at this straight, we could use some momentum. But when off-roading, you don't want to be using speed. You only use speed if you don't have control. If you have to use momentum, you risk damaging the vehicle. As we went over there, we couldn't see. It's important that we take our time, pick our line, and we drive carefully. And when you have a tyre that gives you this feedback, this control, we can do this.
Yeah.
If you go flying along here, we're going to damage the car. If you were to try and drive around here too fast, we would either hit an obstacle or we would strike the undercarriage. There's a number of different things. It becomes dangerous, and the tyre makes this safe. Everyone thinks, oh, you've got a modern car, you've got this traction control, you've got all these different terrain responses. They work on the laws of physics. A terrain response only changes the way that the engine map or the brake torque works, but it can't give you any more grip.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually apply anything other than moving slightly the barrier. It stops you spinning the wheel and digging a hole. It doesn't actually do anything else for you. We always have a saying, 4 times nothing is still nothing. So if your tyre has no grip, you have no grip.
No grip.
Just because you have a 4-wheel drive car, it makes no difference. This obstacle here, this is rocks. Now, our tread blocks can't do anything to help us here because these are solid, hard rocks. But what I'm going to show you, watch the steering wheel. As we go over here, it's important when you're off-roading that you don't put your thumbs inside the steering wheel because you get a kick. This is an old piece of information. It's still valid, it's still worth doing, but look, the steering is not kicking at all. So this area here, our compound is working for us because obviously it has a level of sort of hysteresis value. It sticks like a normal summer tyre would on asphalt. But the structure of the tyre is nicely deforming around. It's moulding around these rocks. So it's increasing the surface area, but it's also took out all these harsh vibrations for us. So you can see in the sand, the compound couldn't do anything and the structure helped us. And on the rock, the tread blocks can't do anything, but again the structure helped us. So it's like this moving pyramid where all the different aspects of the tyre work in unison and they all come along and work together to provide this good performance for us. And that's why we say it's an all-terrain tyre, because it needs to cover everything. So far, we've done sand, declines, we've done incline, rock, a little bit of mud, but I think we should do a bit more mud. There's a lot more mud around here. I think we should really give it a workout, don't you? And then we can show everybody how all the elements work together.
Yeah, exactly.
So one thing that's quite important is to clear the mud from the tread. We put a lot of work into making sure that the tyre worked on the highway, that central rib that I showed you and the side ribs for noise. I'm going to show you now how they don't give us a problem in the off-road, because the way we've designed everything, the way the footprint works, this movement of the footprint basically squeezes and squashes and throws the mud away. We have centripetal force, obviously, we're driving forwards, and the laws of physics again are going to throw that mud out.
One of the main concerns of my customer is they want to know that if the tire clean itself when it's in a mud condition.
Yeah, of course.
How easy our Terratoura can clean itself.
Exactly, so I'll show you that now. And again, this is what I was talking about, the 3 areas. Obviously it doesn't matter what the tread compound is like. When you're in mud, it's not going to make a difference because the mud is a moving surface. Our footprint will help us. And also, where we've done, you'll see there's some small cuts in the tread block, so they have like a mechanical engagement. The way that the compound works is irrelevant, but what will happen is the structure of the tyre will flex, and that's going to throw the mud away for us.
Okay.
And also, as the tyre spins, the laws of physics help us because it throws it out. Mud is obviously quite a viscous material, so you're never going to be able to squeeze it through. It's not like water when you have the sipes on the tyre and the water gets pumped. You're never going to do that with mud. It doesn't matter how thin the mud is. It's not going to be able to like come out the side, for example. We have to throw it out centrally. And even if you have really big open blocks on the side, the mud isn't going that way. The only way mud ever comes out is sort of up as the tyre spins around.
Yeah.
So this is really gooey, claggy mud. You're not going to be able to pump this out. You know, there's no area here where anything other than maybe a bit of momentum. So we've gone real deep in the mud. The tyre's blocked. There we go, buddy, there we go. That says it all. Wow, look at that for a hole. Now you tell me that didn't clear the mud. You tell me that Terratoura doesn't clear mud, eh? That was a real world. We were stuck. And Terratoura got us out. I turned the traction control off. That was the tyre.
Yeah.
The tyre got us out.
Yeah.
From my experience, every other tyre, we were stuck. I was genuinely believed we were stuck. What was happening is that the tyre was compressing. With each time we moved, the centripetal force threw the mud out. So as we rev the engine up, like I was saying, all these traction aids, all of that actually made it worse for us.
Yeah.
We needed the tyre. The 4x4 there got us out. The electronics didn't get us out. The Terratoura got us out because it cleared the mud for us. Anybody that says Terratoura can't clear mud needs to go and look there. That is a big hole. I'm not even going to walk in there. You know, we've took more than 2,000 kilos worth of vehicle all the way through. It was completely liquid mud, and we extracted ourselves from basically a bog.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
Terratoura AT mud clearing. It's irrefutable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
It was good fun, eh?
Yeah, it was.